when it came to our way of communicating, everything changed for me when I got to be 29 years old. My life had really changed at that point because April 1968, my 28th year, was when Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated. And my way of perceiving life, my way of thinking about the meaning of life, my whole way of wondering and questioning who I was and what America was completely changed. When I consider why it was that at the end of my 29th year, when I met Dr. Dorothy Donnelly, who was teaching at the Graduate Theological School in Berkeley, California, why it was that I listened to her and chose to let her teach me how to become an active listener. The only thing I can say is I can't say specifically, but I did. I assume one of the reasons had been that all of my life, religious women, Catholic religious women who were nuns, whether they were black, Sisters of the Holy Family, or the Holy Names sisters, who were white, whatever, black, white, they'd always reached out to me, been kind to me, and taught me very well. So, when I most needed a teacher, there was Dorothy Donnelly, someone I could trust. And we began a 6-month process where she taught me how to active listen. She taught me how to ask questions about what people were feeling and what they were saying. How to pay attention to their tone, the tone in their voice, their body movements, the general disposition, and to ask them questions like, if someone was looking down in the dumps, I was saying, oh, you don't appear to be happy today. Is there something going on there? And the person might say something like this, oh, I am doing well, I'm feeling peaceful, it's just that right now I have a big distraction going on. You know, I have to get ready to study for a major test and I don't have time to talk to you. It could be something like that. But it was a conversation. And given the way that I approached people, which was interest and in no way judging, people usually responded by giving me all the information I needed and more information than I wanted. So over the 6 months then, I learned 2 things. Number one, I learned how to accurately report what people had said to me. Then more and more I became aware of what they were feeling. And I learned how not only to ask them questions, but also became disciplined enough to let them tell me whatever they wanted to tell me. There was one piece that was still missing though, because Dorothy Donnelly had asked me to make sure also that I included information about what I was feeling. And all of this I would do in writing. And the writing would go, number one, what was the date and the time? Number two, what was the situation? Number three, what did the person say? Number four, what were they feeling? Number five, what was I feeling? And so, as I went on, I became more and more astute at saying what they were saying and recording that, what they were feeling, but for myself, not much. And she would point out and she would affirm what I had done. But sometimes towards the end of that 5th month, I got into a conversation where I was very, very hurt and angry. So I quickly wrote out the date, the time, what the person said, what they were feeling, and then I went on for the first time for 2 pages on what I was feeling. When Dorothy and I got together, she looked at the papers and then she handed them back to me and she said, "What's different about this paper than the one you've done before?" So I looked at it and I looked at the bottom. I said, "Oh, I've written more about my feelings than about the other person's." And then she said, "That's what I've been waiting for you to do for the last 5 months." And as she said that, all of a sudden a wave of light went over me. And for the first time I realized that I had developed the ability to look at and to be aware of and to express my own feelings. And from then on I was on my way. And so I look at our own growth as human beings in this country, and I wonder, when does that awareness of being able to name one's own feelings, when can it begin? I was 29. Couldn't it happen to somebody when they were 19 or 9 or younger? I really don't know, but I know one of the greatest gifts I've ever received is the ability to be in conversation with another person, be aware of and have them share on the thinking and feeling level, and for me to do the same. One of the great gifts of my life. So what do you think? That method worked for me. Has it worked for you, or perhaps active listening is not important to you? Let me know.